Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Got a fantastic program for you. What we are going to be doing is, once again, I am responding to viewer comments and also what's going on around the interwebs. There's a very interesting bill. It's a Senate bill here in North Carolina, SB 220, that was introduced February 27th of this year, which will, if enacted, will come into play this year, which has created a big stink. And one of the reasons it's very significant is that although this program concentrates on the coast, saltwater stuff or brackish stuff as it goes on inland, this particular bill will affect all boaters in North Carolina. Let me underline that. I don't care if you're in the mountains. I don't care if you're in the Piedmont. I don't care if you're along the coast. I don't care if you're up in Bertie County. It doesn't matter. If this bill passed, it's going to affect everybody. And again, this is in response to viewer comments. Let's just jump on into it. The bill, SB 220. It again filed on February 27th, 2025, and it says, listen to the title now. This is the key thing here in the title. It says, a bill to be entitled, an act to revise the laws pertaining to trespass upon property to hunt, fish, or trap as recommended by the Wildlife Resources Commission. Plot thickens. We'll get into that here real soon. Now, what is the big stink? It's Section 4 that pertains to boaters, really all boaters in North Carolina. And this is how Section 4 reads. It says, it's a section that says launching watercraft from right-of-way. In that section, it says any person who willfully launches any motorized or unmotorized watercraft from the right-of-way of a public highway or street into a body of water adjacent to the right-of-way, except in public areas designated for boating access, is guilty of a Class 3 misdemeanor. And if this law goes through, it becomes law October 1st this year, 2025. So it's a Class 3 misdemeanor if you launch your boat off of a public right-of-way. Now, let's get into some details here. Well, first of all, why? Why is this bill necessary? What was the motivation? I've never heard of an accident. I'm sure it's happened in history of somebody launching their boat off of a right-of-way. And I'm sure that there are some very hairy intersections or curves or things where it would not be advisable to do so. The first thing that came to my mind is a location in Carteret County going on down east where it goes off of a public right-of-way but 100 yards down to the water. So let's get into this a little bit more detail. Let's go into what is a roadside right-of-way. I'm putting this picture up here. Do you see this picture? You see the road. That green area, the little bit to the left and a little bit to the right of the road is the right-of-way. Now, immediately when you see this, you go, well, there's not much on either side. Well, generally speaking, no. So my question is this, and I'm going to get into some good details here. My immediate question is this: can I pull off the road? Or are we talking about literally somebody on that road and right-of-way, which is usually just a couple of feet, trying to launch a boat? Now, I can see a problem with that. But how big of a problem is it? Now, again, this is affecting everybody along the coast. I'm used to saying that, in the state of North Carolina. Now, the definition, a great definition of right-of-way, now this is really, really important, and I'm sorry this is boring, and the villagers want to storm the castle. Don't blame you, I'm one of them. But a right-of-way, a roadside right-of-way, are the land on either side of the road, including the shoulder and the vegetation beyond. Sometimes the edge of the property line of the right-of-way is marked with a fence or visible with a tree line. Who owns the right-of-way depends on who owns and manages the specific road. So we're talking about public, so that's going to be state or federal. So, by the way, a Class 3 misdemeanor in North Carolina. It is the least serious type. I don't give a squat. It could be the most serious type. It should be no type that shouldn't pertain here. It's with a maximum penalty of 20 days with a fine of $200. Again, I don't care if it's 1 second and $1. Now, I'm guessing common sense would dictate that if it is, as I had made mention earlier, the road and the right-of-way in the water, you've got like 2 feet of right-of-way, and you're trying to back your boat in off of a road right-of-way, then yes, that could present a hazard. But again, what's the motivation? What's the motivation? Now, I want you to contact these people. These people are the 4 primary sponsors of the bill. I want you to contact them. These are senators, state senators. And I want you to contact your state senator, because what happens with these things is, in the dark room, cigar-filled back room of politics, what happens is somebody from Cherokee or wherever on the mountainside's got a bill he wants passed, and he tries to get his friends. And so his friend might be in the Piedmont, it might be in the coastal area, and it might not pertain to him on the coast, but he's his friend, and so he goes, yes, let's do it, and in exchange, will you vote for my bill? So contact everybody. Let me get the 4 primary sponsors. These are the reason why. Senator Bill Rabin, he represents Brunswick, Columbus, and New Hanover County. Senator Tom McInnes, he represents Cumberland and Moore County. We're out there in the Fayetteville area. And the next senator, Danny Earl Britt Jr., Hoke, Robeson, and Scotland counties, same area. And Senator Steve Jarvis, Davidson and Davie County. Contact them. And the best way to contact them is just go to the North Carolina State Legislature website. You can go there, SB 220 for this session. Go there, you'll see the bill, and then you can click on their names, and it will take you to their office telephone number and their email address, as well as their aides. Contact them. The people that sponsor this bill, contact your state legislature that represent you if you are not in one of these half a dozen or so counties, and say no. Ask them, why? What's the motivation of this? Why? What happened? Now, at the very beginning of this, I made comment. I read the name of the bill, and I stressed something at the very end. It says, a bill entitled an act to revise the laws pertaining to, as recommended by the Wildlife Resources Commission. This is where it's coming from. I have reached out to the Wildlife Resources Commission, and I await their reply. I want to interview the person or persons with the Wildlife Resources Commission that says, hey, we need a bill to, make this a misdemeanor if you go with your canoe, your kayak. Well, my rubber inflatable raft, does that count too? And access the water, public water, off of a public road. So as soon as I hear back from the folks from the Wildlife Resources Commission on who to interview, then I will hear back from these folks. And don't be surprised, by the way, when you contact these 4 sponsors. Again, I want to get their names out. Senator Bill Rabin, Senator Tom McInnes, Senator Danny Earl Britt Jr., and Senator Steve Jarvis. Contact them. Don't be surprised if they don't reply. Not uncommon. Pick up the phone. Don't be surprised if you don't get through to them. Leave a message on their answering machine. Don't be surprised if they don't call back. But this is what I will tell you. If they know. If you email or call or snail mail, because they got that address there when you go to their site, they know the response. They see them and they'll start counting them. So please contact them. Please contact your representative if one of these 4 are not your senator. And as soon as I hear back from the Wildlife Resources Commission on to who I'm going to interview, I will. But in the meantime, please email me, billhitchcock@mail.com, 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 with your questions you would like me to ask the Wildlife Resources Commission, because I'm gonna. Or post at the YouTube page where you're seeing this. Post your questions, because I'll ask them. Please don't go to somebody else's Facebook page. There's some wonderful Facebook page like OBX Fishing, North Carolina Speckled Trout, I believe is wonderful Facebook pages where these videos get posted, but I usually don't see those comments. So if you want me to ask a question to the Wildlife Resources Commission, email me or post it at the YouTube channel. I can't think of anything else right now. This is a very interesting law. Again, it's not just coastal, it's the entire state of North Carolina. Send me your questions. I'm Bill Hitchcock. See ya.
Post your questions, comments, and concerns here on YouTube or email them directly to Bill Hitchcock at this address. What?